Welcome to Level Up Tribes. Level Up Tribes provides resources to help you attain the necessary resources to level up your mind, body, and soul and realize your full potential. It is about exploring, learning, providing you with the tools from the experts for you to create a better version of yourself. I am your host, Agnes Goodwine, and welcome, Tribes. Hello, beloveds, and welcome to our latest episode of Level Up Tribes podcast. Today, we have a wonderful guest for you, Mark Warlick, who will be talking to us about the universal laws and how they can be applied to our daily lives to create the life you want. Mark began practicing meditation nearly 25 years ago at the Agape International Spiritual Center in Culver City, California, under the leadership of Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. After completing a series of classes focused on spiritual laws, Mark became a licensed religious science practitioner in 2000. He has traveled to Egypt more times than I can count in my hands and other sacred sites around the world, which has become the foundation for successful spiritual living. This is one of my favorite topics, and I'm excited to have reconnected with Mark to bring you a deep discussion about these laws for you to become a conscious creator of your own reality. Let's dive in. Mark, welcome to Level Up Tribes podcast. Thank you so much for having me here today.
And thank you for inviting me.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to dive right in and talk about universal laws today. Please tell us about your background and your specific studies that led you to the path of learning the universal laws.
Well, of course, what you're really asking me is your life story.
Exactly. Everything.
Right. So I guess the thing that I really want to start with was there was a point in my life where I actually started searching. And, of course, that began with when I got divorced.
That always happens, huh?
Really. So this was back in the day of AOL and the chat rooms. And I made a friend who we had been friends for some time, and she actually came to visit. And we were like not sure if it was a romantic thing or what, but she came from Baltimore to Los Angeles to come visit. And when she got off the plane, it was like, no, there's not a romantic connection here. But anyway, we still hung out. She stayed the weekend, and she actually had another friend in town. So on Saturday, we were watching movies. Hey, would you like to go to church in the morning? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm looking for a place. So I'm like, well, there's this place called Agape. I'm like, okay, let's go. So we go to Agape. And we go to Agape, and then we go to brunch afterwards. And at the time, Agape was in Santa Monica. So we go to Agape in Santa Monica and then drive over to Crenshaw for brunch, which, is a nice little drive. So we're sitting down for brunch, and my friend Cherie says, so Mark, how do you like the service? And I'm going, it was good.
You broke down?
I'm still crying.
Oh, my God.
So for the next 6 weeks, I would go to Agape by myself, and I cried every time.
Wow.
So I knew that, and it turned out that was, it was around my birthday because she came to visit on my birthday. So by about that time, they were having their holiday party, by the time I could stop crying. So I go to the holiday party, and, I'm at the holiday party, and this really, really pretty woman picks me up. I'm like, wait. There are women here that like me, and it's a good message.
I'm going every Sunday.
I'm all in. I get in the classes. I'm in the new member classes. I swear.
I love it.
I'm all in. So I get in the new member classes, and then they have a foundational class. I'm just like all in. So I take all the classes. Then I become a practitioner, take all of their classes. And then, I'm doing service work. I am like a mainstay,
Wow.
I'm like, not only do the women like me, but they're pretty women. These are like Los Angeles women, they're actresses. And, I'm like, yes, my son is cool. He's enjoying himself. This was it was the best. So anyway, I'm into it, and I start talking to other people. When I say other people, still within the same agape community. But when I would talk to them, it became clear that they knew something more. So I'm like, so one of the people was Michael Beckwith's brother, Akili. So I would say stuff to him, and Akili was just always so warm and embracing. But he would say stuff, and it was just like, yeah, but that's different.
Yes.
And then there was another person, Lisa Watson, who, when I would work with her, she would ask those kind of questions that would just get right to the heart of it. And it's like, yeah, but you're coming from someplace different than what is going on here. I mean, I could see the similarity, but it was still something different.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, okay, so what do you guys know? Well, they wouldn't tell me anything. So, well, what do you study? They wouldn't tell me something. And then they finally said, get a Course in Miracles. I went and got a Course in Miracles.
Within the same church?
Well, no, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay, I got a Course in Miracles. So can I start studying with you guys? Well, no, because we started at the beginning of the year, and we don't let people come in at the middle of the year. So I said, so what do I do? They said, just start reading it. So I said, well, how much should I read? Read a section a day. Okay, fine. So I start reading a section a day of the Course in Miracles. And by the time I get to about the 40th day, their teacher, Dr. Aziz Fuqua, comes to town. And then when I sit with her, then I go, oh, that's what's going on.
Okay.
And that was the beginning of, the more mystical part of universal law, of understanding universal law.
And for those that don't know, the agape, that's very famous now, and including Michael, what's his last name again?
Beckwith.
Yes. He's been on Oprah, and he's written books and so on. What's the foundation of that church?
It started with Science of Mind.
Okay.
Which is different. It's not Scientology, but Science of Mind. So basically, it's mental science. And understanding how the mind creates the creative how creation occurs out of thought. Let's put it that way. So the founder of Science of Mind is a guy named Ernest Holmes. So that was the start. But then if you start doing more research, you'll find that the same principles can be found in every religion.
Okay.
So he calls it New Thought, Ancient Wisdom. That's what he calls it now.
I love it. Oh, man, I'm going to do a lot of research. We're going to learn today.
Yeah. Okay, good.
And so what led you to the path? So you met Isis, and then that led you to the path of learning the universal laws.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Let's talk about what are the universal laws and how do they impact our daily lives?
Okay.
And how many are there?
Okay, there's 7.
Let's start there.
Yeah, let's start there. So first of all, let's start with the first one, which we'll call the law of mentalism, which basically just means the universe is mental, that everything begins with a thought. And, when people say speaking into the universe, well, the issue there is that before you can speak, you actually do have to think.
True.
So, and we also know that people can lie, which means but their thoughts never lie. Okay, so number one, the law of mentalism. 2, the law of correspondence, which is basically says as above, so below, as within, so without. So based on what is happening in your world, you can tell what's happening internally, and then of course what's happening internally gets projected out.
That one is so deep.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And it's also it's important to be able to connect the two.
Yeah, I know.
So if there is turmoil, if you sit long enough, you'll go, yeah, okay, well, I'm having this inner conflict.
Yes.
And it's showing up as my kids fighting or
having problems at the job or having problems with your spouse.
Exactly, relationship, those kinds of things.
Okay.
Vibration, everything has a vibration. So the law of vibration, I'm sorry. Everything has a vibration. Your heart has a different vibration than, say, your intestine, for example. You can tell what your overall vibration is based on your friends, your consistent friends that are always around you. So when people say, oh, I need to get rid of the negative people in my life, well, the good way to get rid of the negative people in your life is the best way to do that is to stop being negative.
Right.
which of course people don't really want to do that.
Right.
They want to continue to complain
Yes.
and talk about their boss and their lack of funds or their relationship, and then complain about their friends who will do the same thing. So vibration. Polarity, basically everything is dual. When you think of polarity, you've got, think of two of a broom. On one end of the pole is, let's say, love. On the other end of the pole is fear. So everything is dual. Rhythm is basically just the swing between the one pole to the other pole. So
Okay.
if you're in a dual universe, if you're living in a dual universe, you can swing from being really, really happy to really, really sad. With a swing to one direction, it's going to be the same as a swing to the other direction.
Kind of similar to the vibration, right?
It's, yes, vibration though is,
Consistent?
yes, consistent.
Okay.
Yeah. So your heartbeat has a vibration, boom,
Right. Okay.
Okay. With rhythm, if you can actually identify as God, then you actually are moving yourself above duality, and you can observe the rhythm, you can observe the poles, but you're now above it,
Oh, I like it.
right?
Okay.
Cause and effect. Cause and effect's the best, another way of saying you reap what you sow.
We've heard that one.
Yes, everybody has.
Yes.
Everybody has. But the application of that is that, okay, if you've been judging people, you're
Yeah.
going to get judged.
Yes.
That's
True.
how it works. And if you're getting judged, it's because you've been judging people.
Is that where karma falls into?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the karma is not, it's a law, but it's under the umbrella of cause and effect.